data science and its effectiveness for economic growth, which is basically about driving the economy through data science. And before we go on, I would like us to have a brief understanding of what we're going to be talking about today. So data science is a study that takes its concepts from different worlds. It takes concepts from statistics, from a computer science, to make inferences from data, and which can be used to make business decisions within organizations, decisions between in most domains that you can ever imagine about. Data scientists are very much relevant. They can be used in financial organizations to make projections about who is literally qualified for a loan. Data science is just the study of data to make inference, and these inferences can be used to automate tasks. It can be used for literally anything. It can be used to make projections. One of the most important area of data science is whereby business executives use data science to make inferences. They use data science to make projections on how the year, or to make plans, to make budgets on how the year is going to go. And data science has been used widely, not only in organizations or in small startups, but data science is also used by companies or countries rather, and economists to make projections, or to look at how to make plans for the year, or to understand the dangers that are looming ahead. We have an example of when data science was used in data science was heavily used in even though we're still during the coronavirus pandemic, but like when the pandemic was much serious, data scientists came into play and one of their relevance was deciding on resource allocation and how the vaccines were to be shared, and how aids were to be shared, like assistance. Hello.
Sorry for the interruption. Please put on your camera.
Okay. Yeah, like I was saying, one of the relevance of data scientists came into play during the pandemic, during the coronavirus pandemic, when governments employed use of data scientists to make projections as to how aids and assistance were to be shared to different countries. So data scientists have a wide range of relevance, and their relevance is not only limited to just business. And today we're going to be looking at how data science is a very relevant field and can be used to improve economic growth. So sorry. So all right. Today, in the outline today, we're going to be looking at an overview of data science and what is data science, understanding data science. I've given us a brief explanation of what data science is. So I believe we all have an idea of what data science is, and I'll recap on that before I proceed. Economic growth and development. We're going to be talking about economic growth and development. We're going to be talking about the factors that facilitate economic growth, how technology aids economic growth, and our focus for today, which is data science as a tool for economic growth. And we're going to be concluding. So like I said, data science is a field that uses data, that analyzes data and make inferences from data. And this data can thereby be used to make projections for a company, for an organization, and for an economy as a whole. So that's just the understanding of data science is applied to different fields. You understand that there are data scientists that could be used in law firms to analyze data and make inferences. Data science could be used in health firms, whereby we have examples of data science application in health firms, whereby we have digital imagery, whereby you train a system that once it sees some irregular patterns in your body, it can identify the ailments just by imagery, whereby we have something like CT scans, and it can report directly what is happening. Digital imagery, another example of digital imagery is how you can get the gender of an unborn child, even months before the child is born. So those are examples of data science. So let me proceed. So what's data science? Data science is basically an interdisciplinary field. Like I said in the beginning, it uses scientific methods, processes and algorithms and systems to extract knowledge and insight from noisy, structured and unstructured data and apply knowledge and actionable insight from data across a broad range of application domains. I'll break that down. It's an interdisciplinary field because it is not, it takes concepts or precepts from different areas of knowledge, including economics, because it uses statistical methods, including economics and statistics, because it uses understanding of data science, understanding of statistics rather, not economics, statistics. It uses statistical methods to analyze data because we have different statistical methods that could use to make inferences from data. But why data science came into play, because statistics alone was not enough to make inference, to make enough projections with data. The statisticians were making the projections, but they found out that, okay, these processes were slow and they were manual. So that's why data science came into play, because now we have computer science, because we're saying it's an interdisciplinary field. Now it uses concepts from computer science to automate this task, the task of making inferences, because instead of manually plotting out all these pie charts and all these tools which statistics provides us with to make inferences from data, we now have automated systems that can make these inferences and make it easier. Now, it uses scientific methods, just like I'm explaining, processes and algorithms, because there are several algorithms available, which when applied on data, we can make inferences, positive inferences that can guide how, give us an understanding, a better understanding on what this data is trying to report. So we have different type of algorithms. We have different type of algorithms. We have the we have supervised algorithm, the unsupervised, and the I think semi-supervised. Yeah. So those are different machine learning algorithms that can be used to take analysis on data, or I can use to make inference on data and create insights from different type of data. You need to understand that one of the qualities of a data scientist is that he must be able to filter out noise from real data. So that's where the noisy comes in. And structured and unstructured data. There are different types of data. We have the structured data. Structured data are more like in figures. They are more like quantifiable data, while the unstructured data are like audio data, video data, and sound. And this different type of data, and this is important to understand that unstructured data is more technical to handle, and those are one of the skills that that data scientists are equipped with, and it makes inferences a lot easier, because normally someone who is not equipped to the skill of data scientist cannot handle different sources of data in order to make inference, and that would be like an unjust inference if all sources of data are not considered. That would be like an unjust inference. So that's why the data scientists must be able to understand or handle different types of data. So, and he must be able to apply this knowledge and actionable insight from data across a broad range of application domains. That's why I said data science is applicable to a lot of domains, and I explained that earlier. And one of the areas of data science which is that shows that proves its application in different domains is that data science is also an interdisciplinary field that takes its concept from mathematics, computer science, statistics, and domain knowledge. And domain knowledge is literally just the knowledge you gain from working around a certain field. If you're worked around a health field, the knowledge you have from for your understanding of the process of physiology of the human body, for example, or your understanding of the constitution if you're to work in a law firm as a data scientist, or your understanding of finances if you're to work in a financial institution. For example, social lender is a solution that makes use of data science to create a solution that creates that makes loan available for small and medium enterprises without having to I think it's just by using the social media presence, the social media availability. So that's one of the concepts of data science, that you do not need to have a lot of paperwork before you consider who is most likely going to repay you back. So by creating algorithms that studies data and makes inferences and automate tasks, you have just done data science. So now it is well stated in this second concept, in this second paragraph here, that says it's a concept to unify statistics, data analysis, informatics, and their related methods in order to understand and analyze actual phenomena with data. There's this saying that says a data scientist is I think it was to say is an economist that is better than other computer science, and is also a computer science that is better than economists or something like that. But it just has to say that, it just has to explain that data science is really just a combination of these different concepts. Is a combination of these different concepts of these different is the combination of these different words in order to analyze data and make inferences from this data. So unified statistics, data analysis, because you have to analyze data, and informatics, your understanding of data and their related methods in order to understand and analyze actual phenomena with data. Because in this case, we're dealing with real life data, and it uses techniques and theories drawn from different fields with the concept within the context. It uses techniques and theories because you are looking at techniques that were normal, that we used to create meaning or meaningful inferences from this data. So we use techniques drawn from different fields within the context of mathematics, statistics, like earlier said, computer science, information science, and domain knowledge, which I earlier mentioned. Domain knowledge is just the knowledge gathered from working around a certain field, as I said. Information science, your knowledge of information. Computer science, that is where our programming advantage comes in. Instead of using normal like pen and paper to analyze data, you actually have automated systems to do that for us. So next slide. Now, what is economic growth? Because we're looking at how data science comes into play in influencing economic growth. Now, we have to understand what an economy is. An economy is literally just a representation of the financial well-being of members of a society or a geographical location in terms of consumers in relation to their reaction to price, demand, and supply. An economy, there are different definitions of an economy, but an economy is simply, when you say an economy, like the status of an economy, is simply a representation of the financial well-being of members of a society, like members of a society, and their response to price, their response to demand and supply, and how they react, their buying and their in relation to their standard of living is just a relationship between consumers in reaction to price and demand and supply. So it's a representation of their financial well-being. And economic development is defined as a process whereby the economic well-being and quality of life of a nation, region, local community, or an individual are improved according to the targeted goals and objectives. So economic development, when can we say an economy has developed is when the quality of life is literally like standard of living. And standard of living, when you are looking at standard of living, where people live, where people live, how much people spend to eat per day and all that. So today we're going to be looking at how technology influences this growth, okay. So, sorry, I'll have to speed up. Sorry for wasting time. So, we're going to be looking at how this growth can be sped up by technology, as particularly data science. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now, economists generally agree that economic development, like we're looking at factors that facilitate economic growth. Now, economists generally agree that economic development and growth are influenced by 4 factors, which are human resources, physical capital, natural resources, and technology. For an economy to prosper, it's influenced by 4 factors: human resources, physical capital, natural resources, and technology. Sorry for wasting your time. I'm not so used to this. I'm sorry. Human resources. Now, human resources are the availability of labor. That's the idea of human resources: the availability of labor, readily available labor to harness the resources, the natural resources that are available. Now, human resources is also like has to do with your mind, like those, because it's the economy now is not really driven by like handwork anymore. It's mostly driven by mind work. So human resources also has to do like available qualified labor to fill in the positions that are available. So physical capital has to do with money and ideas and those are things that and we're talking about things that facilitate economic growth, the natural resources available, and the technology, the available of technology. Now, countries that recognize the importance of these four factors that affect economic growth will have a higher growth rate and improve standards of living for their people. Technological innovation and more education for workers will improve the economic output, which will lead to a better living environment for everyone. Increases in labor productivity are much easier to achieve when investments are made on better equipment that require less physical work from the labor force. Now, looking at what drives the economy right now is really shifting away from it's shifting away from what drives the economy as is really shifting away from human labor and all that. It's really technology. That's how it's really influenced. Technology really influences the way the economy grows. Now, improvements in technology has a high impact on economic growth. As the scientific community makes more discoveries, managers find ways to apply these innovations as more sophisticated production techniques surfaces. Now, government uses innovations to project and plan and facilitate economic growth. Now, with these projections that technology makes easier, the application of better technology means the same amount of labor will be more productive and economic growth will advance at a lower cost. So technology is like a very big factor in economic growth. Now, it is widely accepted that technology is the key driver of economic growth of countries, regions, and cities. Technological progress allows for the more efficient production of more and better goods and services, which is what drives economic growth. Now, these are a few ways that technology affects the growth of our economy. It increases job creation, it contributes to gross domestic production growth, emergence of new services and industries, workforce transformations, and business innovation and prediction and projections. Now, for this last point, that is mostly where data science comes into play. So, data science. This is the last slide, please. Data science for economic growth and development. This is how data science comes into place to facilitate our economic growth. Now, data science helps in adopting programming methodologies. Adopting programming methodologies. These are a few ways. I don't have much time left, so I think this is sorry.
Actually, your time is up already. So you can just have time for only one question.
Okay. All right. So hopefully we can all see my screen. So these are a few ways that data science directly influences economic growth and development. So anybody, any questions? I'd like to take a question.
I have a question.
Okay, sir.
You mentioned that it can be used to predict the gender of a baby, even months before he is born.
Yes, sir.
And we know that diagnostic, you can use diagnostic to determine the gender of a baby.
Yes,
but
sir.
There is limitation to that because there is a particular month that has to be done. Maybe the first trimester for diagnostic may not be able to determine the gender of a baby. Now, can data scientists or whatever do that in the first trimester? Like 2 months or 3 months when the baby is still forming and all that? Or is it still the same thing that the diagnostic is still giving us? Is it a different thing?
Okay, Mike, when I made that point, what I'm trying to explain to you is that scans are made possible by the influence of data science.
Okay, the scans are made possible
health practitioners in population. So it is the study of data that made that possible for that to be available. And improvement in technology worldwide is only going to make things get better. Before you know it, that might be very much possible to happen. That you can start detecting the gender of a baby even in the first trimester. So does that answer your question, sir?
It answers.
All right. Thank you. Jacob, please